Clear,
We're back.
episode 6. What's this? New toys.
I'm
3 microphones.
I'm fucking freezing.
Are we crystal clear?
Like a crystal clear voices coming from all angles, hitting you from all angles.
You can see my breath.
Turns out,
A little bit cold in here. Landlord
Freezing.
shut the heating off in our studio.
stop. Immediately stop doing that. No one likes that.
That's a bit of ASMR.
For someone who listens
No.
to a lot of podcasts, like, you sure are
Yeah,
fucking annoying on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, it only took us 4 hours to set up 3 mics.
Such a wipeout.
Audio is harder than everyone makes it out to be.
To be
Like,
fair, the whole process of doing anything kind of sucks. I always, like, anytime I see podcasts that are kind of small and they have like producers, I was wondering like, why just do it yourself? Until I tried to do it myself.
You
Yeah.
fucking need
Immediately,
someone
I'm
to
like,
shut
I
up.
would pay someone
To do
top
this.
dollar to just do all of this, editing, like setting stuff up. Imagine this was just set up. We just came in, we recorded.
Oh,
How
yeah.
handy that would be.
someone-
we should start a profitable business off doing that sort of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Now
not
that we
bad.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to stupid people.
now that we know it, we don't even know half those fucking knobs do. Like,
You speak for yourself.
Yeah,
Who
well,
set this gears up?
I feel like we're learning. We're learning on the job.
yeah,
I
we actually are.
feel like we
It
know
would-
more than we did at the start.
By trial and error, mostly. This whole business is fucking trial and error. We've sat down. Does this work? No. Next.
Did this work? Nah.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, this might be a bit of a sleepy cast, but I feel like we used a lot of energy setting all this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, we were here at around 5
bright.
o'clock today.
There's still light outside.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
actually fucking warm in
We
here.
saw the
too.
sun go down and the heat leave.
Hey, buddy, our studio is fucking.
Yeah.
It's coming together something. But anyway.
nice.
What have you been up to this week? Have you started watching Scrubs?
Yeah.
I literally knew that from that song.
Yeah, I fucking started watching.
Such a
it,
good
man.
series.
Oh, it's unreal. How did you know that song off it?
I remember, this is so weird. I remember my dad had like an old like iPod, or it wasn't even an iPod, it was like an MP3 player, and he gave it to me, and it only had like
Scrub songs.
it literally, one of the like albums I was on, it only had a couple of albums, and one of them was the Scrubs, like, because the music's in its class.
Unreal.
It's such a good like.
I'm
There's
like-
so many good
I think
songs.
I didn't know that the soundtrack's Lethal and Scrubs. Like,
What?
I've watched like a few episodes of it. Like,
Yeah, like he's the way.
I thought you were being cheeky there. Like.
It's sort
No,
of-
I'm
No, no,
about to.
it's
My-
sarcasm.
That's the thing, when the earphone kind of dropped out, I couldn't really see, and I can't really see, I couldn't see and I can't hear you.
that's the problem. I'm
Yeah.
like I have like one eye that's just like a microphone,
Yeah,
and then like
yeah.
my left eye is when I'm looking
And
at
I
you.
start going cross-eyed. Like.
I got a crystal clear vision and audio. Of
Yeah,
both
to be
these
fair.
guys, like. But no, they get him. He's out of the. You know, Men at Work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, diddle, ding,
Yeah,
ding,
well,
ding,
no man at
ding.
work,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah.
in Scrubs.
No, he's not actually. Well,
he
he is in it, but he's not like a character. He just
Yeah.
He turns up just playing the guitar,
and doesn't speak at
like
all.
being like different. Like at one point, he's just like a dead guy, and he, like sits up and just starts like ding, ding, ding.
yeah.
I feel like I vaguely
Just bits.
remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
like. It's like
Yeah.
like one of the wee bits of the show.
Yeah.
Like.
Mm.
It's actually such a good show. Like.
Oh, quality.
I
Like.
I remember liking
And
it.
every
whenever I watched
episode like ends with like a nice wee life lesson as well, which I think
Yeah.
like JD
Ding,
like
ding, ding. Yeah,
sometimes
he looks
in
away.
life, and then just talks about like what
And like the
fuck
same wee tune plays.
happened.
like.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? It's like.
No, that's
the
the
way.
way.
Oh fuck no! what is
Um,
it? I don't even know. Yeah, it's something like that though.
Did any of you see that? Did we talk about it in the last one? I can't remember. This is the problem when you do them so far apart.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that Queen's Gambit
No.
movie, TV show?
It's a TV show.
I know the
pretty sure.
TV show.
Yeah,
I
but-
literally watched that. I watched that the first maybe day that it came on Netflix because I was like, because it was in the fucking recommended.
Was that any good?
Unreal. Have you not seen it?
Like shit.
No.
I've watched it twice
About
already.
chess, don't care.
It's like unreal in terms of like Netflix and popular series
Like,
and that sort
Do
of
you know what?
stuff.
Do you know what I was saying? Yesterday we spent like hours just watching parkour fails, like people just doing parkour, and
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. I
And-
love them.
yeah, but you always gonna notice, it's like the same type of person does parkour, and I always think the same type of person loves chess.
Yeah.
Nerds,
There's
autists,
Naturally.
and just gamers.
There's
And
the same sort of person loves skateboarding as well. Particular brand of person.
Skateboarding is different because skateboarding is cool.
no,
Cool
you never
people.
catch me dead on a skateboard, like.
Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah, He's about to walk away.
Yeah, I know. So it's all over. Like,
Skateboarding
No,
gang.
the thing
Mate,
is, it's like
uh,
all
sorry.
the coolest people in like history were skateboarders.
Oh, yeah, I suppose like
Hitler?
JFK.
Also,
Excuse me?
do you own?
That's a
Do
mentality,
you
it's
own?
flat
Do you
out
own
skateboarding.
or ever owned a skateboard?
Nah.
No one has to know that. No one has to know that. Also, yeah, all the
That's the
people.
question, please.
No.
Okay, skater boy.
Yeah, but Tony
Yeah,
Hawk.
You're just a walker boy. You just
Yeah.
walk everywhere. You don't skate anywhere.
It doesn't even like walking
Right.
anymore.
You just like walking anywhere.
To be fair, I don't even think I can like name more than one skateboarder. Like,
Tony Hawk, goat, Bam Margera. Talked about him that one time.
Fucking-
that's all. It's Tyler the Creator skateboards, and he's pretty fucking cool.
Ah,
Yeah, he's a pretty.
he's not a skateboarder though.
He is a skateboarder.
Nah, I wouldn't count that.
Right.
He can, if you,
What
I
else?
I think if you can do a kick flip, you're considered a skateboarder.
But anyway, back to my point
Queen's Gambit.
of how. No, like, you also notice never see any girls doing parkour.
No, you don't.
Smarter than that?
There's a boy in my uni.
Too smart?
I was going to the library one night, like, because our library stays open 24 hours, like 365. Do you know how yours only does it like
Yeah,
Donheim or something?
whatever.
I don't
We
know,
just get the work in.
like,
Whatever.
Subpar university.
We just get it in. We just get the work done. I guess.
Guys, what was that?
And I was going to the library one night at like maybe 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and there's a boy doing parkour in the middle of our campus. And it was
Wait,
like
what-
Just
pitch
spiraling.
black, and I was just thinking, like, what are you
Wait, what?
doing?
Was anyone recording him, or was he just by himself?
No, just in his own.
That would terrify
Was he
me.
like practicing? Why did he practice?
And the thing was, he was like trying to run up the wall of our library as well, like, which is just like a straight up vertical wall. Like, so I don't even know what he was. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Just, like,
remember-
straight up to the roof.
Remember
Just
that
tripping
time?
balls on the walls.
Remember that time we were I don't know if maybe it wasn't you. We were walking through Belfast like in the middle of the night. I think it actually was Ethan Lewis, and we were coming back, and we saw this guy up the road, and he was dancing by himself, and we
think
got
I vaguely remember
freaked
that.
out. Like,
But that is scary.
but then
'cause people don't do that.
it turns
Yeah.
out he was black, and he was just listening to chill beats, and we were like, alright, okay.
Why does it matter that he was black?
If you saw a white guy, like just you're like that's like Joker.
Do you know what else you think?
He was just like a cool guy. He was just
Yeah, I was
vibing.
saying,
yeah, he was like he was talking to people when we walked past. He's like, hey guys, he's just
Alright.
happy.
If I
You
saw
see a
like
white guy,
smackhead.
danger.
run the
Danger.
other way.
That's what I think. Yeah.
To be fair, how do you know that your parkour guy wasn't just a smackhead trying to like climb to the roof?
It is
or
Dublin
something?
after all.
It was like student age, and I was in
Oh.
university at like 10 o'clock. They don't let people inside the
So,
grounds after like a certain.
Oh, it
time.
was
I'm sorry,
on uni campus.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of intriguing. What kind of like was he doing like flips and shit, or was he just like
There was like
just trying to run up a wall over
our
and
library
over?
wall, and then do you know like a disabled ramp, and it had like a wall alongside it, and he would just like run up the wall, and I don't even know if he was doing flips or like just jumping and trying to grab a ledge or something weird like that. It
Some
wasn't like anything
shit.
impressive, but yeah.
It usually isn't.
Well, you gotta start somewhere in parkour.
Yeah.
But like, why would you start at a library where everyone's gonna see you being a goof?
I
Like,
think that was probably his aim was look, do it where people can look at him or whatever. I don't know.
but what?
But-
Them sort of people.
Why do parkour ever?
Because
Free running, brother.
fucking cool. If you could, if
It's
I
not.
could do,
No, it's
if
not.
I could
Do you
do a
ever see
fuck,
parkour championships? You're just like, I
Because
remember thinking,
hold
oh
on.
my god, that's so cool. Whenever you're
If-
like 14, 15.
yeah,
but if I could-
we said that yesterday.
but if
Yeah.
I could do a backflip, I'd be fucking doing it all the time.
But
No,
you could
no,
learn-
backflips. That's pretty cool. You do a backflip.
Yeah.
You could also learn to do a
Parkour.
backflip if you wanted to.
Parkour is running on like park benches and like doing doing wee spins off it. Like it's
Yeah.
shit,
Urban movement or something.
and it's kind of like a weird thing to be like
Have you seen that guy who like just straight up dies?
almost like
No,
we
the-
did
like, the
watch
video
a
the
lot
guy
of
won, and,
compilations.
like he does like a flip on top of the roof, and he like loses his footing, and he just fucking plummets like.
Did you ever see the Russian people who's like always doing that? on top of
Yeah,
cranes
and they just
like,
fall and, like,
Oh yeah, he's called like Mustang Wanted,
Oh yes.
Oh. Have you seen- do you
remember
I
Mustang
remember
Wanted?
that
Yeah.
happening, like,
and he would just fuck. He's not dead,
So
surprisingly.
it was him.
By some sort of divine miracle, he's not dead.
they would do like backflips on like the girders of like skyscrapers and all.
Mustang
like,
Yeah,
wanted
and
a trampoline. to
No,
bounce
but he
off
would,
of.
what he would do is he would just like hold on to it with
Yeah.
no fucking
Yeah, I remember him.
Again,
harness
why?
or anything.
Yeah, why?
What? Do something
I don't know,
else.
just for like the sexual thrill.
We adrenaline.
It must
junkie,
be.
like.
I don't know what it is. It gets
And
him off
then-
somehow, like
And we're back around to the point. Why play chess?
for the sexual thrill.
I
It
don't know,
must
like,
be.
I think whenever somebody gets like to a level of smart enough.
Do you know there's like no women in the
It's
top
not-
100 either, and that's what the parallels. They're all just autists. So.
Yeah.
What I
don't know,
think, what I think is like,
They also all the greats always like burn out or like do weird shit like.
It's
What do you mean all the greats? As if there's some greats that do chess? Like,
Yeah, I could
Nah.
name after.
It's
I
weird
watched,
that
I watched that, and I watched Searching for Bobby Fischer was another one. Like, and Bobby Fischer is one of the chess.
to be
greats.
fair, I know his name a lot, but that was just,
yeah,
it was like Cold War stuff, wasn't
He might have
Was
been
it?
born around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it? But it is weird. Yeah, like it is weird, and it's what I don't know. Just angry nerds. Like
Have you-
I've like brought that game of chess. Like that's all it is.
Have
To
you
like
ever
this
seen
intellectual. Like why not Tiddlywinks?
Do you ever? There's
fuck
one
is
boy.
Tiddlywinks?
You ever play Tiddlywinks?
No, what is
Oh,
Tiddlywinks?
there's
It's like-
another name.
Do you know when you just get two? It's like two wee.
tic-tac-toe? No, that's Xbox.
No, it's like two wee discs, and then there's like a wee bowl, and you have to like ping it into the bowl.
Like counters.
Like poggers?
I don't know.
Pogs,
Bog
Yeah.
not
pogs.
poggers, mate.
Oh, what is that?
That's what the kids these days
Oh,
say.
right, okay. Anyway, no. What I was saying is,
Poggers.
Poggers.
chess.
Play of the game. That's like a Twitch thing, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Oh, is that what that's not? Is that what that is for?
I didn't know
I
that either.
never
Guess I'm just
fucking
'cause
knew that. I thought it was.
I'm younger than your guys. Like,
I thought it was
What else?
because of those
Why do
those
people
little
use
discs.
tackers?
Because it's like I remember it was because it was short for like technique or something. I think it might have been or something. I remember learning that.
Yeah, it's like I always remember that in football. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. People would be
Soccer.
like, oh, that is tackers. Man.
Yeah, like
Skillage in the
unbelievable,
village.
like tackers.
I
I think it
remember-
might be. We could be completely wrong, and people are just
Yeah,
like
who
punching
cares?
the air. At home,
yeah,
like,
no one watches this anyway.
I remember one of the PE teachers in our secondary school used to wear a jumper and that said tackers on the back. Like, and I remember thinking,
Epic.
Oh,
fucking
Oh, yeah.
stupid.
Back to Queen's Gambit.
oh yeah.
She won a award,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was like colored actress.
She's Argentinian.
Yeah,
She's
but she's
whiter than me.
Yeah, she's
Whiter
very, very white. Like, so I
than
don't know
me.
what the hell that is about.
and she's from the UK. I think she was born in Argentina.
She's Argentinian / English or something
She's
like that. I
like,
don't know.
but I'm pretty sure she lived all her life in Britain. Like.
Yeah, could well
But whatever, you know.
Wait, have you seen the video of like it's like an 11-year-old like chess master. He like goes up against like normal chess masters, and they all destroy
Yeah.
him like one by one.
You ever seen the
Yeah.
Dan Brown thing?
That's a Russian video as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You
I
ever seen
know.
the Dan Brown thing where he like beats like loads of them
No,
in like a row, and they're all like, "How does he know?
Yeah,
How does he do
magic.
this? Like he's never played chess." All he did is actually a pretty funny trick. Like he had them all in a room, and he just played. He just copied whatever the guy did to him. He
way.
moved to the next person and did their move. Like he just went down the line, and basically they were fighting, like they were playing against each other.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
No,
They
that's funny.
couldn't figure out how he was like so good. It's pretty
Yeah.
smart.
Alright.
whatever.
In that Queen's Gambit, they're all like, you actually become interested in watching it because you're
Nah.
like, oh my, because Queen's Gambit's one of the names.
Yeah,
of
I know.
chess moves.
Yeah, I never know that. Like,
Again,
I
another
just
thing
noticed, I
why-
just didn't know Bobby Fischer was. That's weird.
I didn't know
I
who
did-
Bobby Fischer was.
I didn't.
He's
I
like the
didn't-
chess
I
player that everyone knows.
He's the Tony.
He's
Hawk.
the Tony Hawk of chess.
I was gonna say Tony Stark. Right?
Yeah, Tony Stark is chess too, I suppose.
Yeah, he's probably pretty sweet. Like.
I think Bobby Fischer died at like 46 or something like that. Like,
Why do I care about that?
What a
like?
shame to the chess world.
Yeah,
Because
he
that's
lived. He lived such a lavish rock star lifestyle that he just died at 46.
that is actually what happened.
What?
Yeah, that is actually what happened.
He was a chess player and he was getting like what, like cocaine and hookers all the time.
Like, he just became like so popular and all this sort of shit, like that he just got fucked up. Yeah, pretty weird.
What vaguely.
Pretty weird.
What did he die of?
I don't know. Craziness.
The Queen's Gambit.
I felt like he had
Sex-induced heart attack.
like some sort of mental disorder or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The boy,
Doesn't
Autism.
usually doesn't kill you unless you do it yourself.
one of the grandmasters. Did you ever hear about Magnus Carlsen?
Yeah, actually,
See, you
I've rarely heard of.
You know a lot of chess players.
Two, mate.
Mate.
Probably if you sent them to me because I probably read them somewhere, but I wouldn't go reciting them like.
Yeah.
I just know that guy from TikTok, like, because of the Queen's Gambit, because everyone thought they were like chess players all of a sudden.
Is he famous on TikTok? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
He does.
I remember I saw him and I was like, oh,
because of where he is, he does modeling for like big clothing brands as well. Like, do you ever see them like
like Giacomo.
like what? What's Giacomo?
It's like that's for like big guys, isn't it?
Is it? I have no idea. This
No.
boy's not that big, is he?
I don't know.
He does like. Do you ever see G Star? He does modeling, or used to do modeling. For
Oh.
them anyway.
They make the worst clothes ever.
Some of their clothes are nice.
No, they're not.
G-Star.
If I ever caught you wearing that, smacking.
It
my-
kind of
G-Star-
sounds like gamer. It would do gamer gear.
No,
like-
what it does is
it's
it
like
does
biker
like
gear.
yeah.
Oh.
Is it?
And why did he do it?
Well,
why
like,
does he a model?
It's sort of like a biker vibe. Like,
Where's he? He's like from Iceland.
I feel like school
Norway,
shooters are always
maybe?
wearing
Norway.
G-Star. Like
Who?
School shooters, like it's that type of brand. It's
Well,
like shitty bad.
And again, they love chess.
school shooters.
It's that kind of like superiority complex. Like, they think because they're better at chess, they're like better than everything.
Yeah,
like.
but isn't it? It's not about IQ chess. It's just about learning the
It's learning the moves.
strategy.
It's
like.
every other game. There's
Yeah.
no difference just being like playing anything else.
Where did chess come from? The Egyptians or something?
Someone.
I don't know.
I know it originated
Babylon or
pretty
something.
pretty long ago.
There's,
like.
there's loads of games like that, like that just kind of
Or
been there
Indians
forever.
maybe did it.
I want to play Harry Potter chess. Like,
I don't.
To be fair, I remember we got a Star Wars.
I'm pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you know what I also
Again, they
like?
look cool. Like having a glass one. I think we also had a
Yes,
glass one.
Yes, I think we say.
Glass chess set.
Yeah, looks cool.
Or used to be one of our
But, like,
I used to really love drafts because it was easier. Well, they
Yeah.
call it
people also
Chinese
be like,
checkers.
oh, I don't know how to play chess. There's like 7 pieces, and they all have their own move. Like that's it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, it's
the same with
because
poker. Like.
like I always feel like chess is like it's just like a weird hostile like community or something
Yeah.
where it's not like a very inviting one because it's
No,
all
definitely
nerds that think that because they're good at chess, they learned a couple of they looked
Yeah.
up on the internet like move set for chess, and they're like, oh yeah, now I can get the school bullies and I can really show them.
Yeah, and it's also when you
Alright,
play again. Like if you're like, right, okay, I'll play in fucking chess, and then you play them in chess and they just smash you, and you're like, okay, instead of just thinking on your feet and like learn moves, you just learn like every method to counter with this one move. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like that way.
Like I don't doubt the skill in knowing all the moves, but
But
that's
that's when you're at the
what
higher
but
levels.
that is what it is, isn't it? It's just like any other game ever.
Yeah,
Just learn how to play it. Of course, you're going to be good at it. But it's
sheer
weird.
determination. Like,
I just don't understand why that is the chosen game out of all the games to. Like in movies, like people are always showing chess to show how smart they are and stuff. You're like,
Probably because it's
it's probably the one that
like an
doesn't have.
academic game rather than like a physical.
yeah,
It's probably the only one that doesn't
Again,
involve
nerds.
luck.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
also, like that Go that's pretty big in China. Isn't it more of like a?
Pokemon Go.
Nah, it's called Go, isn't it? The one with like all the white, black,
I don't
and
know.
white dots all over the board.
Oh,
You know that one?
Oh
yeah, I
I
remember
know
seeing
that,
it
yeah.
once.
Yeah, like I think
Chinese
that's like the
checkers.
Chinese like equivalent of popularity to chess. You know,
You ever played
That's
Chinese
also like
checkers? I
a-
feel like
That's what I'm saying. Drafts. That is what Chinese checkers is.
isn't that what? Oh, Chinese checkers. The one
Chinese
with, like,
checkers is the
diamond
star,
boards or
yeah.
something, yeah,
and you play it by yourself.
yeah. I know that one. Like,
What was that?
What the fuck was that?
Damn, yeah.
I have no idea.
Did someone just fall? Ah, there goes.
Ghost
hard
dog.
Because of these lights, it's
It's-
blackness.
yeah,
I don't know who could be there.
horrifying because it's just
It's
like
actually
a
kinda
void
scary.
behind it.
And
like,
because we've got these in, you can't hear anything.
but I thought I heard another thing there. This is freaking me out.
Yeah,
I wonder
Oh.
if this is the caught on camera, like this
Yeah, we
ghost
died.
caught on camera.
Did
We're gonna go back in this footage and there's gonna be like a wee spooky face up there.
you see? It's Harvey. Did you see your boy Chris D'Elia, you know, the comedian?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you see he like reappeared like it's almost like a year after he got them accusations?
Yeah. What a weird guy.
It was kind of a weird apology as well. He kind of bragged about how many girls he was riding, and he's like, you know, it just kind of was common, wasn't it? Well, you're like, all right,
Yeah.
chill out, bro.
He's a weird guy.
Bragging about it.
Like it kind of came. Maybe he didn't mean it to come off like that way, but it was like a weird thing he kept on like saying and just being like, you know, I've got a. He went pretty good angle in this day and age. He like says like, oh, I'm like a sex addict and I go to therapy now and stuff. To be fair, that's a pretty smart cop out, like,
Yeah.
because he's like he had a like fiance and like a kid and all. Like, you know, it's pretty good to pull the old like it's a mental illness card.
Yeah. Too easy.
You're like, all right, fair enough. I guess like some people, but he
I've
was
seen all this stuff about. Do you know that? I think he's 2FM DJ Owen McDermott. He's getting accused of like all this sort of stuff now. Like,
never heard of him.
yeah, but people are going mad at him for some sort of
Yeah.
crack.
like why? Like if you're a person that's in like it's the same with that guy. What do you call him? Like, Call Me Carson. You ever see him? He's like a Twitch streamer. And he was like, but to be fair, I think his one was like, he's like 17. Or no,
it was really young for him.
yeah,
to be so
he's
bothered
like
about
17 and was going out with like a 15-year-old or something.
it.
And then, or no, maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe he was 19 and she was 17.
Mm.
And then it was a girl he was texting, but apparently he was like exploiting his fans or something. But he's in a lot of trouble, and he had like
Yeah.
his mugshot taken and all. So he like there was legal action taken against him.
Yeah.
Time for
See,
it, brother.
that's that is the other thing though, Chris. Like I always thought his podcasts were hilarious. Stand up, I remember I said this like years ago when I think we were talking about him,
Yeah.
and I was saying like he was funny. Podcast, great. His stand up, he's like a different guy.
Isn't he like weird and nervous
He's-
or something?
No. Do you know who like his comedy like is aimed for? It is literally teenage girl comedy. Like,
Oh,
I
that's
remember
so
seeing-
creepy, like.
I remember seeing like younger like girls younger than us like sharing his video on Facebook, being like, "What the fuck?" Because knowing him from like the podcast and stuff I watched, like Fighter and the Kid, and then seeing like younger like posting his comedy being like hilarious, and me being like, "What is that about?" Like,
Such a creeper.
that's strange. And then sure enough, it came out, but he never he didn't do anything wrong in the eyes of the law. Like, he was never,
I don't even know what he done. I thought it
He
was
was
just like
texting
making
these
stuff up.
girls, this like girl, I think she was 17 or something, released DMs, but
I thought he was getting nudes off like underage girls.
no.
That's what I thought was
No.
the case.
Because then
It-
that's kind of just
Yeah,
child
then
pornography.
that's child pornography. Like, no, he technically there was no legal aspect to his like cancelling.
Yeah,
It
it's
Still
was
a
all-
scumbag though.
Oh, 100%. Like,
just,
don't be
preying
doing that.
on people. Isn't
He was
that what it is?
grooming or something.
No, it wasn't even that many tags. Basically, what he would do is when he went into a city to do comedy, he was kind of, well, like, this is the thing in his apologies. It's just weird how it comes off. He's like, I'd have like 60 women in my DMs snapping me, and I would just choose one.
Wasn't he like
You're like,
whenever,
all right,
Was that like
dude,
a
okay, calm
Humble
down.
brag, like.
Yeah, I know.
whenever he got caught out? Wasn't there like all of his friends were like, who's he friends with in like the
He,
comedy world or the podcasting world? Like, but they
Like-
were all like saying, "Oh no, he definitely didn't do it," and all. And then whenever it came out, they were all like crying and all this sort
Brendan
of stuff.
Shaw.
Brendan Shaw.
Yeah.
That was funny. Like.
To be
Have you,
fair,
have you seen the clip where he's like, "Oh yeah, Snapchat's sweet." Like,
Oh,
anything
yeah,
you
I
said
remember
on
showing
there
this,
is like
yeah.
delete. It just deletes.
it
And
deletes.
then someone's like, "No, mate, you can save them," and he's like, "You can like see
Yeah.
it on his face." He like shits. He like goes white. He like shits himself.
To be
like.
fair, what is fun? I like you see that now everywhere, like where people think that's like fact that is the thing that he got caught on a podcast, like realizing that you can save it. Number one, the DMs were on Instagram, so regardless. But
Alright.
I think that just was a reaction. I don't know.
Also, who even talks on Instagram? That's like your
Yeah.
number one creepy thing.
But isn't it because if you're
I talk to people on Instagram.
yeah
text people on Instagram.
Yeah, but they're my own age. They're not.
yeah. But in terms of celebrities, you don't have to be they don't have to be following you to get a DM across. If you know what I mean. They see
Yes.
all the DMs,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah, you can set it as well.
yeah. So that's why famous people, I think,
Mm.
use it. But I don't know, it's crazy, especially knowing like how to be very himself. He was just like realistically at the time. I was like, what was gonna happen? And I was like, realistically, this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Why risk it? It's just crazy.
Do you, like that reminds me? Do you remember the Spanish model like had this bikini pickup on like Pope Francis' Instagram
that real?
account? Like it?
Oh,
One of them
I
was
thought that
real
fake.
because no, I'm pretty sure. I think like the second one, like the memes are after it were fake, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the first one was real.
Like there's he doesn't. That's not him. Though.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
after they were like, yeah, we're investigating into.
To be
which-
fair, if
how
I
this
was in
happened.
charge, I would 100%. I'd be
Oh,
like,
God.
fuck this, and just start like it'd be so funny.
But can you not imagine just like decrepit old crusty fucking Pope
Jesus
Francis
Christ.
like being like, fuck, look at her tits, but and, like fucking double tapping.
Is it, you go on any Instagram, it's just like old guys just like creeping. Like,
Oh, the
Oh,
comment
see-
section.
See on Twitter, like any girls that you follow, whenever they post just like a selfie of themselves, there's like loads of 40-year-old men being like, "Oh, you look so pretty,
And
darling,"
they
all this
definitely
sort
have
of
a
stuff,
wife
like,
and kids. Like,
yeah,
Look, I'm
just
sure.
all weird stuff like
I'm
that.
sure the
like,
messenger of God gets down bad a couple of times as well. Like,
yeah.
sitting in the Vatican, like,
But do you know what I think? I think
Dios
that like,
mío.
like middle-aged like men or like people near in the 50s like that aren't good with technology think that like the internet is just like
Yeah.
chat rooms instead of like a worldwide like social media, so they could think that like they say that shit on there, it's like hidden from their life or
But I guess
something.
once you get to that age, like, who cares? He's just like, they're probably just sitting there like, got nothing to lose now. I'm on borrowed
I'm not
time.
gonna be doing that. It's fucking
Yeah, I know, but
stupid.
that's because you don't play chess.
That's true.
Call back.
People who play
Um,
chess are those creepers
yeah,
that be
that's what happens to you.
in comments.
That's what, you spent too long learning the moves, and then all of a sudden life's passed you by, and you're now texting underage girls on Instagram.
You're fat and old.
and And that gross chest.
Yeah.
And grooming people on social media.
Not for me.
Here,
So,
did you know?
the muffin.
This is a weird jump. Did you know Nicole Kidman eats fucking worms in her free time?
Who's Nicole Kidman again? She,
She was in
Did she not?
Australia.
Was she married to Tom Cruise?
I'm not sure.
What?
She's just
What was she out of?
Australia, like that movie Australia. Was that Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like
She is Australian. I think.
Tom Hanks was no, not Tom
No,
Hanks. Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
For some reason, I have like both Nicole Scherzinger and
Nicole Scherzinger is a different color.
I know, but what do you call the other girl that's also Australian and really famous? That
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. I can't think of what.
She's
Yeah,
old.
no.
She's old now. Like,
Yeah,
she's old
now,
enough.
but there was like I was watching this video. So this is how I know. I was watching this video and I was like, celebrities hidden talents, and it's usually people just doing fucking stupid shit.
Hers is
because
eating worms.
Her, yeah. So listen to this. So everyone's doing this stuff like, oh, I have double jointed arms, whatever, all this stupid shit. You know, like Jennifer Lawrence doing this here, and you're like, other than acting, celebrities aren't really that talented, are they? Like,
I hear sometimes they struggle at
and
acting.
then it goes to Nicole Kidman. She's like, yeah, I can eat worms.
Just-
And she's like, opens up this fucking Tupperware box of mealworms and just
Jar
starts
worms.
eating them.
Gross.
It's fucking disgusting. And apparently she just does that. Like any bugs or insects, she'll just eat them.
Do you know? In fairness, like you probably just get to the point where you're like,
Yeah.
I don't
She's
care."
Australian.
No,
like.
why? I would never get to the point where I'm like, you know what, food isn't nice anymore. I'm just gonna.
Mate,
Turn
that is
it
literally
into-
going to be here in like a couple of years when everything crumbles to the ground.
And there's
We're
no
just
food left. And
eating
we're just
worms.
Whenever everybody becomes vegan and all, like,
slaters.
you can
Oh.
eat insects when you're vegan.
Oh my god, James. What do you
What?
think insects are?
Meat.
They're animals. Like.
What did he say?
Can you still eat insects if you're a vegan?
Yeah, obviously not.
I don't know.
Like a vegan.
No,
vegans
no.
don't.
Definitely
Oh,
not.
definitely not.
They don't even eat eggs
Yeah, because it's like
because it's from an animal.
there's a word for that, isn't it?
Retarded.
Oh
I don't know.
No, Jim. What do you mean?
no, they're like we keep saying. I know. I'm telling you, categorically, vegans will
Def-
not eat an
What about a
insect.
vegetarian?
Maybe.
No.
But I thought,
It's an animal.
is it an animal?
What did you think
Well,
it was?
yeah, it's
An
part of the
insect is
animal
another different
kingdom.
thing.
No.
I don't know.
Animal,
I don't know.
fungus, plant, bacteria.
Yeah,
Why you name that off as if that's a known
because
thing?
it's part of the animal kingdom. There's no
Animal.
insect kingdom. Animal, plant.
I'm also 3 years into a biology degree, so I
Yeah,
hope
I
I
don't
fucking
know
know the
anything.
difference. Like,
I literally haven't.
it'd be crazy if I was like, insect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's its own thing.
Yeah.
I haven't
remember I
done
got-
biology since I was like,
I remember I got
They
into.
have they have animal cells.
I remember I get in this argument weirdly through my life like multiple times
So do
where
I.
people have told me that
Insects.
fish aren't animals
Isn't there something?
because they're from here and because
What are
in
they
Catholicism you can eat fish on Fridays and not other meat and like on Lent and stuff.
I thought it was because like what is like the
Maybe it was
thing-
you I had this argument with.
Nah, definitely not. Like I wouldn't say something so stupid.
Yeah,
as that.
yeah.
Like, isn't there? What is the thing like reptiles, mammals, fish, and something? Is there not like different categories like that? What category is fish that there is other categories of?
Fish are.
Like fish are like kind of their own category. Like.
I mean, what are you like? What exactly do you mean by that? Like,
By the insect thing.
like a species of fish or what? Like, what do you mean?
Like, do you remember you were in primary school or not primary? Oh,
Eh,
maybe
that,
primary
like,
school or
kinda shit,
secondary
though,
school?
It's like birds, reptiles, fish.
Yes. What is that? Birds,
Rodent.
reptiles, fish.
I don't know.
That's something else.
Amphibians,
But
mammals.
it makes an acronym for something.
Oh,
Do you
I
know
don't know.
the thing I'm on about? No.
Yes,
Not really.
vaguely like.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like.
But like, I mean,
But like
you
they're all
kinda-
animals. Like.
You ditch that whenever you get to.
Yeah,
Higher stage of biology,
It gets,
like,
all
there's
it gets all crazy and shit.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, I don't
but-
care
Alright,
about
well,
all
there's
these
what you're thinking of. There's kingdom, class, order, phylum, all
Yeah.
that.
yeah, is that what you're thinking of?
Nah,
There's a way to remember it. I can't remember what it is. Like.
Keep ponds clean or frogs get sick.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Why is that? a
Well, it'd be
thing?
weird if you just made it up,
Kingdom,
wouldn't it?
phylum,
Oh, that's like a
class,
that's a mnemonic.
order. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Fine.
Hey,
were
do you think we
saying
just changed subject there?
that. I don't know what the fuck you were
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
feel like we need to slow this down, like, because you're getting lost in all this
Yeah, you
biology
really
talk
get-
here.
Normal people don't do this much biology.
No, you did
You
because you did it
definitely
in school.
Nah, I definitely didn't learn anything
Oh,
about frogs.
100%.
What? No, that's the
It's just-
acronym.
yeah,
it's not
it's just
about
a-
frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't learn that in double
You-
word biology.
I don't know. Who? God knows.
yeah, in the bin.
What was I gonna say there?
Stupid
Just
frog
like
things.
Stupid frog things.
What a
Like,
cool kid.
Like, do you know? Like, do you know whenever like whenever like birds are called ursas and like
No.
cows are called bovine, or like
I
the
know-
Latin names for them?
I know bovine simply because of like, I don't know, cat
But I'm
parts
saying
or
like
something.
that's like that's where that comes from. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Radus
the,
radus,
the genus and the species.
musculus.
Yeah.
It's the mouse.
That's what makes up
Gorilla,
the
gorilla.
Latin name.
Is that, I think it is that, isn't it?
What do you say?
The gorilla one. Just gorilla.
Oh.
Bet you know
What's
that
it?
today.
Oh, you ever see this? Is also funny. I never knew it. You know what clip? Do you know about Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy guy. Do you know like famous clip of him being like, "They're putting chemicals in the water to make the frogs
Yeah.
gay."
Yeah.
Do you know that actually, out of all the shit that he says, that actually is pretty true. Like, that was like that. The company, like one of these big companies in America, the pesticides that they were using, which was changing the gender of the frogs. Do you know like Jurassic Park, where like they use we spliced it with frog DNA, and then that's how
Oh,
they
so they're all
turn
females.
gender.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. They were just making like transgender frogs, and was just like fucking with the ecosystem. Like,
Alex Jones is like one of the funniest people. Like the clips of him are to make me laugh so
One of the
much.
weirdest.
Have
guys
you
ever.
seen the picture of Alex Jones, and it's like his like before and after?
yes,
him, like,
I
working
love
out.
that. Like,
And he's like white on the left side, and all he is just red. It looks like the exact same photo, except he's just red on the right
Yeah.
hand
I,
side.
like, yeah, he's absolute goon. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Rogan, I think Joe Rogan's had like apologise on numerous.
Oh,
occasions
100%, like,
for
because
him,
sure,
like, being
he
associated with
like
it,
Yeah.
like most of it's kind of harmless fun. Like, he just shouts really loud stuff.
Yeah.
But then that stuff about Sandy Hook was wild.
yeah.
Like, he went like we started like
that
bothering
it
their
didn't care and
families and
all
stuff. You're like, ugh,
Wait,
bro.
what? Like where those kids were shot?
Yeah,
said it was
he
made
said
up.
it was made up, and then he went and
Conspiracy
started
and all
like
that.
he started saying that the families were actors and started like
Yeah,
going to their
paid
houses and
actors
stuff.
by the government or something weird like that.
For
Like,
what reason? In pursuit of what?
I have no clue. Like, probably something.
attention or something. I don't know.
Something
Fucked up.
weird.
Well, he definitely has a couple of screws.
most
Screws.
definitely.
Yeah.
He does say that he's retarded.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? He
Yeah,
says that I'm retarded.
kind of retarded.
Yeah.
But I feel like he genuinely
He
believes
says
that, and everyone thought that
Yeah.
that was a joke.
But even when just watching.
Have you ever seen the
clips
guy
of
who like says something in the street and he's like, "What'd you say to me?" He like starts running after him in the street.
Yeah, he's just a nutcase. Like,
Yeah,
He's the
people
greatest.
hate Alex Jones.
I
like.
love him.
I was like reading this thing. This is pretty. You might know this. This is kind of just one of those like wee funny, like pub trivia things. In 1989, who had the sixth largest navy? What had the sixth largest navy?
Gonna say
1989.
Ireland.
1989.
1989.
Who had the sixth lot? That's so
The sixth.
specific.
Very specific. Very
Yeah,
specific.
weirdly specific.
Like, is it country?
No, I'll tell you that. It wasn't a country.
Texas?
No.
I don't know. What is the answer, Dan? It's taking too hard here.
Pepsi.
Weird.
And I was like, no, after looking at this, why
What does
the
that even
fuck
mean?
did Pepsi have the sixth largest navy? So,
Taking their fucking.
I'm gonna take you back. It's the 50s. The head of he's just this guy in marketing in Pepsi. He's looking to get above Coke, as they, that famous Pepsi Cola war. Like, so
Declares war.
no,
Arms himself.
his
in the knee.
one of his old friends happens to be Richard Nixon, who at the time is vice president. And there's a big meeting with Russian President Nikita Khrushchev, and he's like, he phones his mate, old tricky Dick Nixon, says, "Please, could you please get him to drink a Pepsi, and then I'll like quickly take a photo, and then it'll be like great marketing because that's like the leader of the Soviet Union, the communists, drinking like it's like a great capital. It's a win for capitalism basically." And he does it, and it goes out successful, all that and more. Then later down the line, he's now the CEO of Pepsi, and
Oh, I
his
feel like
mate
I've heard of
Richard Nixon is president. This was in the 70s, early 70s, and I think it was Boris Yeltsin or Brezhnev was Leonid Brezhnev's now the head of Soviets. That's when they started like trying to like that glasnost where they were trying to open up to the rest of the world. Basically, they knew communism was on the ropes,
Yeah.
so they start trying to make deals and stuff. And he was just like, okay, if you want to sell Pepsi here, at this point, like Soviet money, worthless. The ruble was like worthless outside of the Soviet Union. So he's like, I'll give you. You ever heard the vodka, like Stelachnoye vodka? It's a pretty big vodka, I think. It literally was at the time it was the biggest in the world. He's like, you can sell that in America if we can sell Pepsi here, and they're like, right, sweet. Then this deal, you know, as deals take ages to figure out. You know, Brezhnev was gone. It was now Gorbachev, and they were like, okay, we can't even give you that. But at the time, the Soviets were really on the ropes here, so they're like, we'll give you like 18 submarines, a destroyer, a cruiser, and a couple of trade. And then Pepsi was like, I guess. And they did the deal, and then Pepsi became the 6th largest navy. They obviously they just sold off them ships for scrap and stuff, because
they just did that so they could sell
Pepsi. Because the money was worthless. So the Russians were like, our military spending is through the roof. So they were like, we need to get rid of all this shit. So they gave them Pepsi, and then Pepsi gave it off. And then funny enough, this is like a kind of funny way ending to it, like, because at the time the guy who at the very start, who like was a marketing guy, became CEO. Now he's on the board of directors. He made a joke saying that he was disarming the Soviets faster than Bush was. You know, he kind of, you know, Coca-Cola, they're just sitting there like, we'll see how this goes. Sure enough, 1889, that's when the deal was done. 91, Soviet Union collapses. Pepsi is now associated in Russia with the communists. Coca-Cola becomes the best-selling beverage in Russia. Pepsi lost. It's just so funny. Like, it's such like a, you know, years of this like weird thing, like these deals and all this stuff, and then they ended up with, like, they thought they won. They were like, yes, we're the only, like, because Pepsi, it wasn't just like the drink. Like, Pepsi is like one of the biggest food things. Like, they own Pizza Hut and stuff like that. Yeah. So they were like, yes, we get a Pizza Hut in Moscow. We're winning, and then all of a sudden,
wasn't that like, what? Do I ever feel like Pizza Hut was like the only place to be? Oh no, Pizza Hut's like the only place to be in like North Korea or something, or there's something really weird.
Yeah, it might be
in like communist Russia or something.
Well,
or beforehand though, I can't remember.
I don't know.
Like
maybe.
Also, Pepsi's like, why are they always goofing up their marketing campaigns? Like,
well, I suppose they are one of the biggest companies in the world. But
I don't get this. Like, you're like a weird Pepsi Coke guy, like, where you will sometimes opt for one over the other. But to me, like, I don't care if you have a bottle of Pepsi or give me a bottle of Coke. I'm just gonna drink them.
Wait, so hold on a second. Are you saying that you think that they taste the same?
Nah, I'm just saying, like, I'm indifferent.
You don't like, you're indifferent.
I literally don't care. But
that's
I will know, like, you wake up in the mornings being like, oh, I would kill for a Pepsi Max.
To be fair, they weirdly, I do like them for different reasons though.
Yeah, there is difference. But Pepsi Max is like refreshing. You want to drink it like
Pepsi Max is the goat.
It's so good. It's like refreshing. It's not sugar. It's like whenever I drink
full
Coke,
fat
it
of both of them
really good.
Sucks.
I think it tastes really good, but it's so sugary. It makes you feel gross afterwards. So it's like, do you know when you would have like, you know, normal food throughout the week, and then maybe on Friday you treat yourself to a nice Chinese, so like same concept. You know, you drink your Pepsi Max as your beverage.
And then which one of these is the normal food?
Obviously the Pepsi Max, because there's no sugar in it.
Right.
And then the Coke is the treat that you treat yourself with on a Friday. Hence why we did this on a Friday, and I have a Coke. Are we allowed to do that?
What?
Like, put the Coke up to the screen.
Oh yeah, sorry, fucking Pepsi will be ringing me tomorrow.
Hey,
like,
hold on a second. I had a video on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And for some reason, Warner Brothers has the
I think we literally talked about this in the last one.
No, I don't think I did I?
I'm almost certain it was.
Very familiar, like.
It does sound very familiar.
Well, their whole fucking legal team is after me, like.
Nah, I think we're sweet. I think, you know, Coke's got other fucking problems.
You didn't drink a whole
Don't count your fucking chickens, like.
Yeah, well.
Nah.
At least getting the news, like.
Coke.
You're creeper, bro.
I actually don't even like Coke that much. Sending mixed messages.
Yeah. So what have you been up to this week, like?
Sweet FA, uni and that, like, you know, just. Oh, we have a lecturer, and I don't even want to say what subject he teaches, like, but he has decided he gets 3 lecture slots a week, and has decided that he wants a 4th one. Wow, the mic. Yeah,
Gotta be professional now.
Yeah, right enough. Has decided that he wants a 4th one because he can't fit all of his scheduled
gross
thing into the 3 slots, which is totally unfair. And is weird that they can just do that in the middle of the term, decide that you have an extra hour on a Tuesday or something like that. You know what I mean?
Because that kind of
I would fucking riot.
That kind of shows that then it's too much for the fit
Exactly.
in. Like it's, it means that you need to cut off some fat.
And
in
he
the
also
course,
like flies through the notes like
I hate that.
at a million miles an hour, and because the subject is like very hard, and he's like one of them sort of intellectual people that whenever you like, there's people in our class like see most of the lectures, I'd like watch them during the live session and not pay attention, and then I'll have to go back and rewatch them like I don't know 6 weeks later like. But there's some people in the class who pays like very close attention and will be asking questions and all that sort of stuff like. And one fella asked today, is there like a minimum amount of lectures that we have to attend or something? And he read the message and goes, I'm not answering these type of logistical questions right now. Even though like for the last 10 minutes he's ranted about how he wants to add another lecture slot onto the timetable. He goes, if you have any logistical questions like that, please hold and either email me after class or ask me when the session has ended. Like, it would have taken him one second to say yes or no, or like you need to attend 40 out of 44 class sessions.
Are lectures usually like as interactive like in university? Like, are you usually putting your hand up and asking questions and stuff?
Mate, I'm not, because I'm not there, like, but
Yeah, in
like,
our class there is.
But then I think biology is kind of different in the fact that nothing really needs explaining. Like, it's kind of like, you know.
Unless you're a moron, like everything's pretty clear cut.
Yeah, it's not like Mavs and stuff and like shit like that where you kind of need someone to like go through it. Like, the reason why I'm so shit at Mavs is because like my dad genius at Mavs, like did like pure Mavs, and like I am fucking retarded at it.
Same.
And see, trying to do the transfer tests, like, you know, when you like we're practicing, and he'd just be like, how the fuck do you not fucking understand that? And you're just like,
yeah, I know,
like fucking crying, like you're literally like the tears are like fucking on the like the page, just like,
it's, you can't even write.
So now when someone asks me like, what time is it? Like, oh, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm like, 10 plus fucking
like I can't do, like, I'm so shit at math down to simple addition.
Like if someone's like, oh, here's some like problems, go do them, I can do them fine. But if someone's like, what's like 5 times 3? I'm like, I
can't do that at all. I can't do like like some people can just do like really big like sums just
he can
really quickly. I can't fucking do that. I don't know.
Ethan's ridiculously
good. Oh, he's crazy at it.
Like human calculator
Nerd.
sort of shit. Like
yeah.
That night where you were sitting in the house and you were like, what he's doing, like 26 times 13. He'd be like, yeah,
it's freaking me out.
Like as soon as you could type it into your phone, he was shouting it out. Like, yeah, them people are freaking.
I think, is it like a formula that you have? Like, because in my brain, like, this is how I'm stupid. Like, I go like, right, the 2 goes on to the 2. Like, if I'm doing like 200, like times, like add 200, I go like, right, 2, that means a 4. And then if it's above 5, it means it goes into a 3.
Yeah,
like, that's how like, slow I do it.
I think, is there not like patterns that you can kind of exactly, where they're just like, they've been doing it so much that they're like, well, I know this is this, so that's just like. So, whereas I'm there doing it from scratch. Like, I'm really like picturing me like writing it in my head.
Yeah.
Like I carry the 1. Fucking.
Oh, I don't do that. No,
I don't do that shit.
I just have my like own stupid way of trying to add like simple things.
That's why there's calculators.
Yeah, on your phones they have calculators. Like,
see, once you go to uni and do like any sort of maths there's like no it's no multiplication,
it's big boy maths, like.
No addition, it's just ladders. Like.
Well, sure, once you get that, last year when I accidentally did the statistics like module on mine, I was sitting there and the guy beside me was like, sure, do you not remember in A level further maths, do you remember that topic? I was like, mate, I got as far as T3 GCSE and I scraped the fucking B somehow.
So
and he's like, why are you doing this course? I was like, fucking ask me this thing, right? Like, what? I don't even know.
Fucking biology. I'm not expecting to have maths in it, like, or letters.
Like, realistically, you know, maths is like the most important thing ever. But
and
it's kind of bad that I don't know how to do it, but I just don't. So what?
The only kind of science that we have, or the only type of mathematics we have in biology is like statistics, and that's across everything.
Which is the grossest.
Which is
of all
the worst.
And which is
ever.
technically everything. Like, that is like the point of doing any research ever. Is statistics. So.
Yeah, literally the worst topic ever found. Even that module that I'm talking about is the statistics module.
Yeah, I immediately knew it was, even though you never told me. I knew that it's always statistics. So.
Yeah, it is the grossest.
And I think it's bad though that like it is technically the most important in STEM
Yeah.
subjects, because if you
Yeah.
can't like prove things and stuff like that, and they just fly through it, and they think that everyone's like mathematical
Yeah,
geniuses. like,
I've
Statistics
been taught.
lecturers just think they're smart,
Yeah.
and like they obviously are smart to be teaching
Yeah.
statistics to other people. Like, but they have like a intellectual step ahead or above everybody else that they're like looking down from their podium. Like,
I've been
idiots.
taught like statistics and like t-tests, like I'd say at least 3 times in 3 different years, and I still couldn't tell you what a t-test does.
Mate,
don't know
I
what it is.
can't even remember. I know I've heard of it, and I definitely have done them.
Yeah,
loads.
I've done them loads.
Can't
don't
remember.
know what
Don't know.
Don't know what it's for.
Also, technically in the middle of writing my dissertation, so like I should probably learn.
All I
pretty
remember
quick.
from biology statistics, like in school, was that square that you used to have to like,
Punnett
throw
square.
over your head.
Oh, that's
Uh,
fucking.
That's all I remember from it.
no.
Like.
yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was
I
like,
can't remember
it
what
was
it's
like
called.
a test that you had to learn off by heart for some reason.
Yeah,
like.
and it's how the coverage
Yeah.
is to do like the coverage of grass stuff. Actually, I did that
Yeah.
first year on my field trip. Or
Yeah,
That's just
wild.
random sampling.
yeah, random sampling. It's got a name. Can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Who
there
cares?
is a name, but I can't remember.
I also
was it?
remember Punnett squares, but they have nothing to do with stats, do they?
No,
No, it's just
No.
mentally.
just another
fucking-
square. But
Just another square.
oh yeah,
it's genetics.
I was because I rewatched The Pacific, best show ever,
Brilliant show.
and
Really good
I-
intro. I love the music.
oh,
in the
it's
intro.
so good. Like it's one
So
of the only,
cinematic.
and it's so long too. And I always watch the whole thing. It's like 4 minutes
So-
long, and I'm just there like crying. Like,
What is that
but
show?
it's about
World War II.
yeah, it's about the
Ah.
first Marines in World War II, and I got one of the, because it's kind of focused on different guys that have then went on to like write books. So I bought the books because I'm like, well, no, I kind of want to read them.
Nerd.
No, it's about cool things.
I was actually going to ask you to read books on this podcast
Yeah.
too. Like,
well, yeah, I've been
I feel
Before
like
I
you
started.
would, you would be a reader.
weirdly, do you know what's so weird? Like I used to read so much.
Same.
But then, like once you're in like first year, second year stuff, like when I was younger, I had like the Kindle. Do you know the first Kindle? It didn't even have like it wasn't touchscreen or anything, and it didn't have any backlight.
Yeah.
So you need like a light on to read it. I remember looking at porn on that, and it didn't play video, and only had pictures. But you know, whatever.
What? You could watch porn on a Kindle.
I didn't know.
You couldn't watch it. That's what I'm
The
saying.
internet.
But it was like black and white. Yeah. Anyway,
It's like,
so I
that's
used to
like
like
drawn boobs in an etch a sketch. Like,
yeah,
it's-
that's literally what it looked like. And I remember just like I just I'd fire through books, but then once you get like a phone and you start watching YouTube and you just become a bum,
Oh,
like,
you actually did.
and then reading becomes kind of a chore.
yeah.
And I was only recently where I was like, you know what, I kind of like this, so I got those books. Sure, the Native American one. Remember the first podcast where I was talking shit about that? That was a
Oh.
book.
That was actually interesting.
Yeah, but anyway, so I was reading his book, and it's crazy.
What, maybe was I interested in that one?
Yeah, I suppose you are. What did you
Yeah.
talk about last
My
Mohicans or
sidekick.
something? Like,
My sidekick.
yeah, right enough.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but did you know that Eugene Sledge?
Yeah.
That's the guy. He wrote the book. He went on to become. He did
The first Marine.
biological science and
No way.
became a lecturer
Weird.
for
What a
biomedical.
guy.
I was like,
What a guy.
nice. I was like, one of us. We're the old breed.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, because obviously the first part of the book, he's he's probably younger than us now, which depressing. See, when like you read things about like,
Oh, people going off to war when they're like 17.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's depressing because you're like, what the fuck am I? Like,
Yeah.
man, I literally got fucking out of breath walking to the train today.
Yeah, but I mean, you had to go to war back then. Like, it's not like it's
well, funny enough, he was in officer school. You know, this part's not in the show, but he actually was in officer school because he was like, he was well off, like he was kind of loaded, and he was in officer school, and then he was like, "Fuck this, is taking too long. I don't want to miss out in the war." Dropped out, joined the Marines, like the war, like the most like casualties, like fought, and then went on to fight in the two worst, like one of the two worst battles in
Yeah.
Marine history. But
you know.
it's also crazy how he was 135 pounds. That's how
Yeah, he
small
was. He was really skinny.
He was
like.
really skinny.
Oh, wait, doesn't. I don't know with stone.
Oh, when I came out of hospital
Nine
after
or something?
appendicitis, I was 135 pounds.
Yeah.
What is that?
and I was
in
dying.
Australian?
Like
Like
thin. I don't know like what that.
What's bantamweight? Like 130?
135, yeah.
135 pounds.
And they're like 5'4".
Yeah.
Well, divided by Myles boy, divided by 14,
Right.
and then there you get stone.
And what was he? 135.
135, yeah,
No, well, just 9.5. Like
9.5. There you
about that.
go.
That's
Yeah, but then like because you're reading the first part, it's like very relatable because you're like, oh, he hasn't even gone to war yet. I can understand this. He's like,
Yeah,
oh, he's just a
yeah.
kid. Like you were given the choice to be like either a rifleman, be on the mortars, or be on the the heavy machine gun.
What would you
You
be
get, like,
picking?
What?
What would you be picking?
Rifleman. First of all, motor.
I
can
think it
blow up
might
in
be.
your fucking face.
To be fair, I
Right.
think mortars are
I'd
the
be
best
more worried
off.
about your ears, like. I know. See,
Oh,
by the
you're
time-
mate, you're in World War II. Your ears
Yeah.
are gone.
Also,
like.
the mortar, whenever you're hitting it, it just makes like a pump noise.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. See, I know for a fact. See, whenever I'm like 55, I'm gonna have tinnitus or whatever. Tinnitus, and that what
Yeah.
it's called. Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna have that because sometimes whenever
I have
take
it
off,
already.
Yeah,
I
sometimes
have it.
whenever I take
Yeah.
off my earphones, I'm just sitting there like.
Yeah, I have to.
I have it from going to nightclubs, not going to war.
Yeah.
I love that
Fucking
feeling.
pussy.
Coming out
I
of
hate that.
coming out of Thompson's and hearing.
It's the worst. That's how I like live my life now.
I like that.
Yeah, sometimes I like.
That's
hear,
why.
like-
That's why I have to go to bed listening to something because I can't. If I have nothing on, I
in the
just hear
silence.
ringing and I
That's
can't
why
go to bed.
I always put stuff. Yeah, put stuff on because if I literally sit in silence,
Yeah, I'm like Baby
I hear like
Driver.
I like hear like a slow. I got a humming drum like.
Yeah,
Get
I hear a
Oh,
slow
yeah.
hum.
I was gonna say a ring in the day.
the ring of the ding. Like, I
Ring
got a
of the
ring of the ding and hum
You
the
gotta
drum.
ring the thing,
Yeah, he's got a
and you
hum
get,
in
I
the
always
drum.
be like, is that something in my fucking room? And then I'm like, no, there's nothing in my room. Like
To me,
it's
it
my
looks like that.
ears.
Do you know
Yeah.
something? And I literally just caught myself doing this like the other day. I was talking to myself.
I do that all the
I
time.
do all the time.
Do you?
Like
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going. I was like, whoa.
I mean 24/7.
I'm
Say
a-
whenever I'm in the car, singing and talking to myself the entire way. Like I can't sit in silence to
Yeah.
anywhere. I have to be
Yeah.
singing and talking.
There's
to
it's
myself,
something
like.
weirdly soothing. I remember when I was younger. I think like hearing my granny do it and be like nuts,
Yeah, man's lost.
nuts,
Senile.
Yeah.
Going fucking senile.
and being like, why the fuck would you talk to yourself? And then now I'm just like fully having conversation with myself,
Yeah.
talking shite.
It's not even. I don't even talk anything that makes sense. It's just like you're just talking to fill noise.
Just like random words like peaches,
Yeah,
bicycle.
not like random words, but just
Fuck
like
off, mate.
just
serious?
saying random stuff. Like
No,
Like
I'd be
what?
having like actual.
Like just what? Like pointing out things that you're when you're driving. Like
Hello, trees.
lamppost,
like
picture.
if I'm just after I don't know batting out a wee tune, like I'm just thinking people are definitely fucking. This is what I'm saying out loud. People are definitely looking at me thinking I'm a fucking weirdo. Look.
Oh, that's. I think
That's
actually you
really
might be
insane.
crazy. Like.
That's
Yeah.
really crazy. I think you might be fucking losing it. Like.
Yeah. No, I love having wee personal concerts.
The other day I was like, "What do you think about that title?" And I was like, "Pretty good."
You
after
gave yourself a
watching the
high
movie,
five?
like,
Say, I think that's weirder. Why like?
that was
Yeah, he
obviously
obviously
a
was
joke.
joking.
Oh right.
Do
Yeah.
you think I had like a full-on dialogue with myself?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I thought was weird about that.
Oh, and then another thing, I didn't realize this was weird. Sorry, we're just like everyone's just best buds in this group. Like I saw, I can't remember if it was a meme or something. It was like,
Off that mic.
you ever see girls at sleepovers like in their same bed? Like imagine if you and the homies did it, and I was like,
I don't think
excuse
that's
me.
weird.
what
It's like
we've
me
been
and
doing
Daniel
that-
literally just sit in bed, we like watching movies with each other. Like it's like, is that weird?
Funniest
feel like-
story ever was that time, like one of them times I stayed in yours and went upstairs and to not your Lewis but Lewis's bedroom, and for some reason he was getting like a smoke alarm fitted or something, or you were getting your doors fixed that
Oh
week, like,
yeah.
and your boy just like walked straight, and I don't even think he knocked the door. And like Lewis like rolls over and like looks at the door, and I'm sitting there, and we both like topless in bed, like, and the man comes and goes, oh.
Oh.
That's all I know.
And Lewis like turns back and looks at me, and it's just like,
He's
I'm like,
definitely
oh.
he's doing the dirty.
Um,
But I think that if you're free to do that, your sexuality's fragile.
Yeah. Like me and Daniel literally like sitting eating ice cream with each other. Like
Nah,
Yeah.
I remember me and Lewis watched the
Yeah,
against
that's-
Sam Lewis.
yeah, weird.
we watched the whole of the second season of Sex Education in the same bed with each other, and just every time there's a gay scene, and you're just like,
Oh
You
yeah,
just turn the
and they're like
Nice.
those
and
gay
they're
scenes are
aggressive.
really
Yeah,
they're,
they are.
they're you know
The only reason we watched it
They
was
don't
'cause
leave
there's so
anything to
much
the
nice
imagination.
scenes in the first one, like, and then I
Did
was
either
like,
of you watch Bridgerton?
no,
No,
Did
why
you
would you
hear any
shite?
talk about it?
Of course you watched it.
like,
I watch all Netflix series. Like,
yeah.
Where do
no.
you find the time? You're like, whenever I talk to you, you're always either doing uni work or fucking.
just doing cool stuff.
It's not fucking cool. Bridgerton's not cool. I remember someone told
doesn't
me it
look
was
that way.
like I don't-
Bridgerton has ridiculously aggressive sex scenes in it.
someone told me it was like
Interesting.
the
Weird.
Victorian era version of like Love Island.
It's like the Victorian era version of like, I don't know, for something with very aggressive sex scenes in it. Like,
Porn.
Yeah.
like it makes me uncomfortable watching it. That's how like nude and out there it was. That I was
Makes
like,
you uncomfortable.
straight.
watching it.
what?
Straight or gay?
Straight. But it was like you weren't expecting
Sauce.
it out of a TV show. You know what I mean? You turn this on expecting people to
Like
be
Game of
wearing,
Thrones is pretty aggressive.
this worse. Easily.
Is it homophobic to get uncomfortable at homosexual scenes on movies?
Depends how uncomfortable you're getting. Like. I just kind of find it funny.
Like I don't. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that. Like if you do get, I don't necessarily get uncomfortable.
I don't think I do.
I think I would. I would think I would get equally uncomfortable if I was watching like a straight sex scene with
agree
with
as
people.
well.
Kind of freak. It feels like I'm like watching porn with people, and kind of like, why would you want to do that with people? Like
That's what watching that show is like.
that's another thing actually.
Oh, right.
The couples who watch porn together. Can we talk about that? Because that's a weird thing. I don't think I'd ever be into that
Are you
whatsoever.
on camera here, mate?
Your man listens to podcast.
Yeah, but that's not overly
Mom.
raunchy.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, if you're watching this, okay? Who cares? I mean, we're all adults here.
We're
Like.
all adults here. Yeah, I don't know. Not for me. Like.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. That's a strange thing. I feel like that's an old thing.
An old person.
Like you know, an old couple like rents an old blue movie from the blockbuster and fucking
Yeah.
fires it to VCR.
And
It's
yeah,
raunchy.
it's but do you know what the problem would be? Because then you'd have to show them what kind of fucking like you'd have to like
You have to have the boy behind the counter in Extravision.
could you, but like that's a minefield. Like
Yeah, like
that's
the VCR like video lasts like
No.
an hour, and
I mean, like it's a minefield for if you go for like such a like specific type of
Yeah.
girl that they aren't. Or imagine if they were like, yeah, I watch anything as long as it's BBC. Yeah, I'll watch anything, and you're sitting there like,
what?
all right. Actually, I wouldn't really care, but
my mom's watching this, man. Come on,
Yeah. Turn that down.
just a huge black guy on the fucking VCR.
but like you know what I mean. Like really see
You're
for
sitting there
fellas, like no one's really gonna care. Like unless you're that fragile that you're like. But like girls are a different breed. Like if you were just like,
yeah.
oh yeah, she's so fit, and then they're just like noted,
And you,
and then later on they're like, and you think she's
they
fit,
do.
and you think
They do keep receipts on like conversations. They do keep receipts on.
that's why they live so long. They keep them, and they're just like,
It's like they
He's talking about
live
girls
yeah,
living longer because what?
yeah, women live longer
Women
than
do live longer.
because
than men.
there's out of spite,
Despite
they
You're gonna
they,
get some flack for that one.
they gather all that energy, and then
What do you
they
think, James?
angry.
just keep it forever. Like,
Do you know
Men
what I think's weird?
don't give a fuck enough to
Are you?
carry it
What
on.
are you? What are you trying to say, that women live longer than men because they just have a burning pettiness that just keeps them going?
Weird.
100%.
It's beautiful.
Signed off.
That's poetic.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. But I'm just saying.
I think most women would agree with you.
Could
Yeah,
you
maybe.
watch like really like aggressively sexual movies with your like family?
I could, but I wouldn't like it.
See, like Lewis watching Game of Thrones and all them sex
With his
scenes
dad, crazy.
I couldn't do
That's
that.
like that's a bit much.
I would literally like the couch would just the pillows would open up and swallow me.
Especially considering what kind of like family where it's like a very
Yeah, I don't know how do you.
where like him
describe
and his
that
dad like don't really like they wouldn't talk about that
Yeah,
kind of
it's not-
stuff.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of communication.
So
Or-
that would be
or it'd be different in your house because you could literally shout anything to your man. She would be
Yeah.
like,
But to be fair, I do get really awkward at that. Like,
Well, obviously.
even though I say,
it'd be weird if you're like, here, slap some of that fucking porn up there, man. That'd be weird. Like.
that would be weird.
no, that
I know,
that
I
is
don't-
weird.
Yeah, obviously that's weird, but I feel like
That's what I'm saying. No, you're
I feel
saying
like you could definitely watch them movies or TV shows with your family.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But even whenever like this, yeah, but I would, but it makes me probably more uncomfortable than Lewis, even though he has a more was it like a stricter but like
Yeah.
family.
They just
Mine-
probably wouldn't talk about it as much.
Yeah, but mine's like if I were to watch that, like even whenever I was younger.
no, but what I'm saying is it's not strange that you feel that that's. You're saying as if that's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of weirded out by that. Of course.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
asking me like,
Oh,
you could definitely do
Oh,
that.
right,
and I'd be
right,
like,
right,
no,
okay,
well, I
yeah.
can't. Like, it freaks me out. I don't
Yeah.
like it. But some people do that. Like, some people will watch things with their parents and don't really give a fuck. Like, if shit comes on, like,
Yeah, I don't
like
understand
really
that.
aggressive sex scenes and stuff. Like, it makes me go all, ooh. And I
Yeah.
can't even, like, look them in the face.
Yeah, you
Like, I
you
get
have your
embarrassed.
eyes like either glued to the TV or I'd be like
Looking at the wall.
making
Or,
tea
or on
straight
your
at the door.
or,
Like,
yeah, like on your phone or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretend you're not watching.
start. Just like.
Yeah.
But no, but I actually did that when I was younger. Like I remember sex scene
Start
come on when I was
listening.
younger. It was movies and like I like pretend like look at the wall and look up because I was so like
Yeah.
embarrassed. And my mum like called me out on it. I became even more embarrassed, which is even worse.
What was,
Like,
Yeah.
what was the worst is like whenever something like that would come on, like even people kissing, my mum would be like, "Alright, everybody look at the ceiling," like, but she would like say it as like a joke because her
Yeah.
ones used to say it to her like,
Oh.
but it would like be her just alluding to the fact that this is like an inappropriate
Yeah.
scene, and you're just like, oh,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like. I can't really think of an example of being like called out because when I was like really young and stuff, like I watched a lot of movies. I remember rewatching them when you're older and being like, "There's so much writing in this." But I think what my dad would do is just like look up. Do you know on IMDb, you can just like click on the wee tab and it tells you like every scene that there's like sex and stuff in, and then he just like skip past it.
what?
So I remember like watching like Terminator.
Sure
I
my
remember
dad used to do
like
that.
watching Terminator and cause like blood and like violence and stuff is kind of like whatever. In the middle of that movie, there's like it's such a long sex scene, and I remember being like, "Where the fuck? I don't remember this. Was this a director's cut or something?" Yeah, it was just like skipped over it.
Explicit content, lad.
Yeah,
No, I don't remember that.
I don't know. Like I don't think anyone enjoys sitting there, like, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have like visions of my dad going like, like getting the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
thing,
freaks
going,
out,
like putting the
Yeah.
like the fast forward on.
Do you know what I've actually noticed this past while? Like, do you know whenever you're watching something at home, every time one of your ones walk in or something like that,
yeah,
it just happens to be on the sex scene. Like,
Oh my god.
I've done that to my dad quite a few times in this last while, where like I would walk out of the sitting room and it would just be like a topless girl on the TV, and I'm thinking like, this is definitely like how I feel
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like,
He is definitely just watching porn all the time. Like, just
he's like, "Oh,
Doesn't
did you
give
see
a
the
fuck
new
anymore.
episode
Yeah,
just like
Baywatch.
cuts off, like-
it just like trails out.
I remember there was one time we were in our old house in Belfast, and we had like we lived with we
Oh
had
shit, yeah.
his cousin, which was she was
Oh,
a
yeah.
girl, and she lived up at the top floor, and we
Oh,
were all
yeah.
watching this movie. I think it was like Unfriended or
Unfriended,
something.
yeah.
So it was like all online. It was all like a video call. That was the whole like
It's like a
horror story.
movie, yeah.
But there was like this really graphic like it was like
It
them
wasn't even
having,
that
like, phone
graphic.
sex or something.
It
but
wasn't even
was,
that graphic, which is almost the
It was like
worst part
creepier
of
the way
that.
they were
It was-
talking or something. It sounded like because it was kind of like low quality.
And
And it
the
was
whole-
kind of like a B movie. It
and the
looked
whole
like it could be.
movie. Have you ever
porn.
watched it? It's like through the whole, like it's through like a
After a
computer
Skype call.
screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like a
so
whole
it
thing to
looks like you're on Skype,
call. Yeah.
and we were all sitting watching it, and then we literally made the joke. We were like, "Oh,
Yeah, imagine someone
came,
came in.
door
she
swings
swung
open, and she's just like, oh," and then we pause it, which is almost
yeah,
worse.
we like freaked out, like paused, and she was like, "Oh, what the
Because
fuck?"
we were all
he's
like, "Oh,
watching?"
oh,
And we were like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that-
it's a
that-
movie.
that
It's
would make
a
it worse than I
movie."
just paused it.
Oh,
oh, so horrendous.
It was really bad because we were all just like sitting up, and I think it was like a point where we weren't all speaking, so it just looked like we were all just sitting in
yeah,
silence,
just like
watching this-
gawking at it.
watching like a creepy.
Was there anything on the actual TV? Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
the
yeah.
girls- I
Like
think
a
the girl was,
half-naked
like,
girl.
nude or
Oh.
something,
Yeah.
What a wipe.
And there's nothing more in the movie apart from that one scene.
Yeah, that was the one time
Yeah,
Oh,
and it was just exactly on the moment.
on the moment that she
happens
came in.
every time. Literally happens every time.
Going back to the
Yeah.
Pacific, the other show is the Band of Brothers, which is they're like the
Oh,
same
yeah.
things. Again, no sex in the whole thing, but there's one scene. It's actually Tom Hardy. It's a very young Tom Hardy. He's one of the soldiers in it. I always forget how many like big guys are in that. Like Michael Fassbender's in it. Simon
Really?
Pegg's in it.
And Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
James McAvoy's in it. Like there's huge guys are in it, like, but they're only
What a
for
cool
like
dudes.
they're just like soldiers. Like it's. I'm guessing they just needed every single male actor to be in it, and it just like goes from like a cut of like just guys to like aggressive sex. Like it's like the soldiers like riding some German girl. Like I remember just at the time being like, that's like the only one I can kind of remember watching my parents being like,
What the heck?
what?
Yeah.
I just like I like the length of it. Like it seems like so long when you're watching,
Oh,
but it's
it's
only
way
like
longer,
seconds.
yeah.
It's only like seconds.
Like,
way longer
maybe,
than the moment.
like they definitely, there's probably like a limit to how much they can even have.
Oh,
of it,
probably,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And
So
there
it's, like,
is that-
max 15 seconds.
that,
And you
like-
think, oh my god, when is this going to end? Like,
There's the relief, like there's such a
Yeah.
breath of relief when they like the scene, like because after sex scene, the scene or like the shot will always change so abruptly.
Yeah,
So it, like
yeah.
obviously it goes on to like a lighter or brighter.
There's never a
scene.
dismount. Like
do you know what I
yeah.
want
It's all just straight over.
remember? This wasn't even that long ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Look, and my ones were watching Inglorious Bastards, and
Such
you
a
know
good
there's
movie.
like
yes.
yeah,
It's like a small
It's,
cut.
yeah, it's
Yes.
it's
and
about literally
Joseph
about
Gor-
1
it's Joseph
second.
Yeah.
Goebbels,
Yeah.
and it goes to him getting like pegged or something.
No,
Yeah.
he. Oh, is it Kim Peg?
No,
it's
no, no.
him. It's him like with a
with some girl.
with a
like,
prostitute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the sitting room for like my ones were watching that. And I remember entering the sitting room for like 30 seconds, and that came on. And I was thinking like,
Nice, and it's
Wrong
out of
thing.
nowhere, and it's
Yeah.
such like a quick thing. And you're
And
like,
it's also-
a really quick cut.
also like the only time in that movie I think where there's any nudity whatsoever, isn't there?
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? All the time.
Yeah, that's the only. There's some feet in it, but that's just
Yeah,
because
that's just
Quentin Tarantino's
Quentin
a
as a
little
creep as
weirdo.
well. Like.
Classic Tarantino.
I saw people were trying to cancel Brad Pitt's character from that movie. I thought it was a joke. No,
Why?
because there's a part where he says it's like obviously a joke in the like that he says he's like I'm 1/28 Cherokee, so I want that's why he's like I want the scalps because he says he's got like Native American blood, and people are like that's so disgusting that like Quentin Tarantino like wrote a character that
Sorry.
is clean. Oh no, they're like it's so disgusting that Brad Pitt is like playing a Native American character. And I remember at the time reading that being like there's no Native American characters in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Like looking in, I was like Brad Pitt,
It's 'cause he
peasant.
makes a joke.
And I was like, oh right,
But
People
do they not see the
yeah, I
irony
don't
of
know.
that? Like, that's so stupid.
grasping at
But
straws.
also, if you're gonna pick any Tarantino movie to cancel over, why would you pick Inglourious Bastards? I mean,
that is, I think
Django
he's got a
Unchained.
target on his back. Like,
you know,
yeah, I don't know.
which I love Django Unchained. I think
And then
it's
they also came after Kill Bill
masterpiece.
because apparently they had a white woman playing like dressed up as Bruce Lee, and I was like, clearly you haven't watched these movies, have you?
yeah.
I was like, ah, god damn it.
Oh, well, that's 1 hour 6 minutes.
Is it?
Remember
What?
that flew by.
Flew by.
Flew by.
Episode 6.
Episode 6 with the new crystal clear mics. We're stepping up in the world, and also
I hope to God
ignore
this
the
works.
breath.
What?
Like it just is smooth sailing. Like it hasn't like somehow messed up. Like.
Fuck.
Yeah, hopefully.
Sound
I
crystal.
mean,
man.
it is what it is. Play the music.
Nah, we're not doing that. I'll play the music when I want to play the music.
No, play it after I
Yeah.
say that. It'll be cool.
But it's just a time thing. I just put it in.
Alright, fuck you,
Anyway, this has been Noisy Boys episode 6 with
Daniel.
Miles.
James.